Cow Reads Fic. My Immortal. Chapter 12. Author's Note. Stop F-ing, okay? Hagrid is a pedo too. A lot of people in American schools are like that. I wanted to address the issue. How do you know Snap is... Iant Kristen plus Hagrid isn't really in love with Ebony. That was Cedric, okay? XXX666XXX. I was about to slit my wrists again with the silver knife that Drago had given me in case anything happened to him. He had told me to use it valiantly against an enemy, but I knew we must both go together. No, I thought it was Hagrid, but it was Vampire. He started to scream. OMFG, no, my scar hurts. And then, ... period, comma, period. His eyes rolled up. You could only see his red whites. I stopped. How did you know? I saw it, and my scar turned back into the lightning bolt. No, I ran up closer. I thought you didn't have a scar anymore, I shouted. I do, but Diabolo changed it into a pentagram for me, and I always cover it up with foundation, he said back. Anyway, my scar hurt, and it turned back into the lightning bolt. Save me. Then I had a vision of what was happening to Draco. ... comma. Voldemort has him in bondage. Anyway, I was in the school nurse's office now, recovering from my slit wrists. Snap and Lupin and Hagrid were there too. They were going to St. Mango's after they recovered because they were pedophiles, and you can't have those fucking pervs teaching in a school with lots of hot girls. Dumbledore had constipated the video camera they took of me naked. I put up my middle finger at them. Anyway, Hagrid came into my hospital bed, holding a bouquet of pink roses. Enobi, I need to tell you something, he said, in a serious voice, giving me the roses. Fuck off, I told him. You know I fucking hate the color pink anyway, and I don't like fucked up preps like you, I snapped. Hagrid had been mean to me before for being gothic. No, Enobi, Hagrid says. Those are not roses. What, are they goths too, you proser pep? I asked, because I was angry that he had brought me pink roses. I saved your life, he yelled angrily. No, you didn't, I replied. You saved me from getting a Paris Hilton P video made from your shower scene and being viewed by Snap and Lupin, who masturbated, see, is that spelled wrong? To it he added silently. Whatever, I yelled angrily. He pointed his wand at the pink roses. These aren't roses. He suddenly looked at them with an evil look in his eye and muttered, Well, if you wanted honesty, that's all you had to say. That's not a spell. That's an MCR song, I corrected him wisely. I know. I was just warming up my vocal cords. Then he screamed, Petrolus merengo mi cremici romaccio. For all you cool Gothic MCR fans out there, that is a tribute, especially for Raven. I love you, girl. Imo noto oyeko. And then the roses turned into a huge black flame floating in the middle of the air. And it was black. Now I knew he wasn't a prep. Okay, I believe you. Now WTF is Draco. Hagrid rolled his eyes. I looked into the balls of flame, but I could see nothing. You see, Enobi, Dumbledore said, watching the two of us watching the flame, to see what is in the flames, haha, you reviewers flames get it, you must find yourself first, Kay? I have found myself, okay, you mean old man, Hagrid yelled. Dumbledore looked shocked. I guess he didn't have a headache, or else he would have said something back. Hagrid stormed off back into his bed. You are a liar, Prof. Dumbledore. Anyway, when I got better, I went upstairs and put on a black leather mini dress that was all ripped on the ends with lace on it. There was some corset stuff on the front. Then I put on black fishnets and black high-heeled boots with pictures of Billy Joel Armstrong on them. I put my hair all around me so I looked like Samara from The Ring. If you don't know who she is, you're a prep, so fuck off. And I put on blood-red lipstick, black eyeliner, black lip gloss. You look kawaii, girl, Bloody Mary said sadly. Fangs, author's note, get it? You do too, I said sadly, but I was still upset. I slit both of my wrists, feeling totally depressed, and I sucked all the blood. I cried again in my bathroom and put the shades so Snap and Lupin couldn't spy on me this time. I went to some classes. Vampire was in the hair of magical creatures. He looked all depressed because Draco had disappeared, and he had used to be in love with Draco. He was sucking some blood from a Hufflepuff. Hi, he said in a depressed way. Hi back, I said in a wooqually said way. We both looked at each other for some time. Harry had beautiful red gothic eyes, so much like Draco's. Then, so many ellipses, we jumped on each other and started screwing each other. Stop it right now, you horny simpletons, shouted Professor McGoggle, who was watching us and so was everyone else. Vampire, you fucker, I said, slapping him. Stop trying to screw me. You know I loved Draco, I shouted, and then I ran away angrily. Just then he started to scream. OMFG, no, my scar hurts. And then, ellipses, comma, his eyes rolled up. You could only see his red whites. No, I ran up closer. I thought you didn't have a scar anymore, I shouted. I do, but Diabolo changed it into a pentagram for me, and I always cover it up with foundation, he said back. Anyway, my scar hurt, and then I had a vision of what was happening to Draco. Voldemort has him in bondage. XXXXXX 666 XXX. Chapter 13. Author's note. Special thanks to Raven, my Gothic's blood sister. What the fuck you're supposed to write this? Hey Raven, do you know where my sweater I? Author's note. Raven, thanks for gelpin me again. I'm sorry I took your poster of Gerard, but that guy is such a fucking sex bum. Preps stop flamingig. XXX666XXX. Vampire and I ran up the stairs looking for Dumbledore. We were so scared. Dumbledore, Dumbledore, we both yelled. Dumbledore came there. What is it you want now, you despicable snobs? He asked angrily. Voldemort has Draco, we shouted at the same time. He laughed in an evil voice. No, don't. We need to save Draco, we begged. No, he said meanly. I don't give a darn what Voldemort does to Draco, not after how much he misbehaved in school, especially with you, Ebony, he said, while he frowned, looking at me. Besides, I never liked him that much anyway. Then he walked away. Vampire started crying. My Draco, he moaned. Author's note. Don't you thick gay guys are like so hot? It's okay, I tried to tell him, but that didn't stop him. He started to cry tears of blood. Then he had a brainstorm. I had an idea, he exclaimed. What? I asked him. You'll see, he said. He took out his wand and did a spell. Then, ellipses, suddenly we were in Voldemort's lair. We ran in with our wands out just as we heard a croon voice say, Alla Kedavra. It was, almost a line full of ellipses, Voldemort. Chapter 14. Author's note. Fuck off, prebz, okay? Raven, thanks for helpin' again. I'm sorry I couldn't update, but I was depressed and I had to go to the hospital 'cause I slit my wrists. P.S. I'm not updating till you give me 10 God reviews. XXX. X 666 XXX. Warning. Some of this chapter is extremely scray. Viewer excretion advised. We ran to where Voldemort was. It turned out that Voldemort wasn't there. Instead, the fat guy who killed Cedric was. Draco was there crying tears of blood. Snaketail was torturing him. Vampire and I ran in front of Snaketail. "Rid my sight, you despicable preps," he shouted as we started shooting him with the gun. Then he suddenly looked at me and he fell down with a lovey-dovey look in his eyes. "Ebony, I love you, will you have sex with me?" he said. He's 16 years old, so he's not a pedophile, okay? "Huh?" I asked. "Ennaby, I love you, will you have sex with me?" asked Snaketail. I started laughing crudely. "What the fuck? You torture my BF and then you expect me to fuck you? God, you are so fucked up, you fucking bastard," I said angrily. Then I stabbed him in the heart. Blood poured out of it like a fountain. "No!" he screamed. He started screaming and running around. Then he fell down and died. I burst into tears sadly. "Snaketail, what art thou doing?" called Voldemort. Then... ... he started coming. We could hear his high heels clacking to us. So we got on our broomsticks and we flew to Hogwarts. We went to my room. Vampire went away. There I started crying. "What's wrong, honey?" asked Draco, taking off his clothes so we could screw. He had a sex pack. Get it? Because he was so sexa. And a really huge you-know-what and everything. "It's so unfair," I yielded. "Why can't I just be ugly or plain like all the other girls and preps here except for Bloody Mary because she's not ugly or anything?" "Why would you want to be ugly? I don't like the preps anyway. They're such fucking sluts," answered Draco. "Yeah, but everyone is in love with me. Like Snape and Lupin took a video of me naked. Hagrid said he's in love with me. Vampire likes me, and now even Snaketail is in love with me. I just want to be with you, okay, Draco? Why couldn't Satan have made me less beautiful?" I shouted angrily. Author's note. Don't worry, Anobi isn't a snob or anything, but a lot of people have told her she's pretty. "I'm good at too many things. Why can't I just be normal? It's a fucking curse," I shouted, and then I ran away. Chapter 15. Author's note. Stop flaming, okay? BTW, you suck from no one. Every time someone flames me, I'm gonna slit my wrists. Fangs for Raven to helpin'. XXX 666 XXX. "Ebony, Ebony," shouted Draco sadly. "No, please, come back." But I was too mad. "Whatever, now you can go and have sex with Vampire," I shouted. I stormed into my room and closed my black door with my blood-red key. It had a picture of Marilyn Manson on it. He looked so sexy in a way that reminded me of Draco and Vampire. I started to cry and weep. I took a razor and started to slit my wrists. I drank the blood, all depressed. Then I looked at my black GC watch and noticed it was time to go to biology class. I put on a short, ripped black Gothic dress that said Anarchy on the front in blood-red letters and was all ripped and a spiky belt. Under that, I put a ripped black fishnets and boots that said Joel all over them with blood-red letters. I put my ebony black hair out. Anyway, I went downstairs feeling all sad and depressed as usual. I did some advanced biology work. I was turning a bloody pentagram into black guitar. Suddenly, the guitar turned to Draco. "Ennaby, I love you," he shouted sadly. "I do not care what those fucker preps and posers think. You're the most beautiful girl in the world. Before I met you, I used to want to commit suicide all the time. Now I just want to fucking be with you. I fucking love you." Then... ... he started to sing The Chronicles of Life and Death. We considered it our song now because we fell in love when Joel was singing it, right in front of the entire class. His singing voice was so amazing and gothic and sexy, like a cross between Gerard, Joel, Chester, Pierre, and Marilyn Manson. Author's note. Don't you think those guys are so hot? If you do not know who they are, get the fuck out of here. OMFG, I said, after he was finished. Some fucking preps stared at us, but I just stuck up my middle fingers that were covered in black nail polish and were entwined with Draco's now at them. I love you, I said, and then we started to kiss, just like Hilary Duff, I fucking hate that bitch, and CMM in a Cinderella story. Then we went away holding hands. Lupin shouted at us, but he stopped because everyone was clapping by how sexy we looked together. Then I saw a poster that said MCR would have a concert in Hogsmeade right then. We looked at each other, all shocked, and went together. Chapter 16. Author's note. You know what? Sut up, okay? Prove to me you're not preps. Raven, you suck, you fucking bish, give me back my fucking sweet, you're suspect to write this. Raven WTF, you bish, you're supposed to do this. BTW fangs to Brittany 5655 for teaching me Japanese. XXX 666 XXX. We ran happily to Hogsmeade. There we saw the stage where GC had played. We ran in happily. MCR were there, playing Helena. I was so fucking happy. Gerard looked even sexier than he did in the pictures. Even Draco thought so. I could totally see him getting an erection. But it didn't matter, because I know we was the only true ones for each other. I was wearing a black leather mini dress and black leather platinum boots with red striped fishnets. Draco was wearing a black baggy MCR t-shirt and black baggy pants. Anyway, we stated moshing to Helena. We Frenched. We ran up to the front of the band to stage dive. Suddenly, Gerard pulled off his mask. So did the others. We gasped. It wasn't them at all. It was... ... ellipses, 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 period. Voldemort and the Death Dealers. WTF, Draco, I'm not going to a concert with you, I shouted angrily. Not after what happened to me last time? Even if it's MCR, you know how much I like them. What, 'cause we... you know, he gadgeted uncomfortably, 'cause guys don't like to talk about you-know-what. Yeah, 'cause we you-know, I yielded in an angry voice. We won't do that again, Draco promised. This time, we're going with an escort. OMFG, what the fuck, Slash? Are you giving in to the mainstream? I asked. So I guess you're a prep or a Christina or what now? No, he muttered loudly. Are you becoming a prep or what? I shooted angrily. Ennaby, I'm not. Please come with me. He fell down to his knees and started singing The World is Black by GC to me. I was flattened, 'cause that's not even a single. He had memorized the lyrics just for me. Okay, then I guess I will have to, I said, and then we Frenched for a while, and I went up to my room. Bloody Mary was standing up there. Hajishi mashite, girl, she said happily. She speaks Japanese, so do I. That means how do you do in Japanese. BTW Willow, that fucking poser got expelled. She failed all her classes and she skipped math. Author's note. Raven, you fucking suck. Fuck you. It serves that fucking bish right, I laughed angrily. Well, anyway, we were feeling all depressed. We watched some gothic movies like Das Nightmare Before Xmas. Maybe Willow will die too, I said. Kawaii, Bloody Mare shook her head energetically, lethargically. Oh yeah. Oh, have a confession. After she got expelled, I murdered her, and then Lupin did it with her 'cause he's a necrophiliac. Kawaii, I commented happily. We talked to each other in silence for the rest of the movie. Oh hey, BTW, I'm going to a concert with Draco tonight in Hogsmeade with MCR, I said. I need to wear, like, the hottest outfit ever. Bloody Mary nodded energetically. OMFG, totally, let's go shopping. In Hot Topic, right? I asked, already getting out my special Hot Topic loyalty card. No. My head snaped up. What? My head spun. I could not believe it. Bloody Mary, are you a prep? No, no, she laughed. I found some cool Gothic stores near Hogwarts, that's all. Who told you about them? I asked, sure it would be Draco or Diabolo or Vampire. Don't even say that name to me. Or me. Dumbledore, she said. Let me just call our Brahms. OMFFG, Dumbledore? I asked quietly. Yeah, I saw the map for Hogsmeade on his desk, she told me. Come on, let's go. We were going in a few punk goth stores, especially for the concerts in Hogsmeade. The salesperson was OMG hotter than Gerard, except not 'cause that's impossible, and he gave me a few dresses. We only have these for the real goths. The real goths? Me and Bloody Mary asked. Yeah, you wouldn't believe how many posers there are in this town, man. Yesterday Lupin and Snap tried to buy a Gothic camera pouch. He shook his head. I didn't even know they had a camera. OMFG, no, they're gonna spy on me again, I cried, running out of the changing room, wearing a long black dress with lots of red tolle coming out and very low cut with a huge slit. Oh, my Satan, you have to buy that outfit, the salesperson said. Yeah, it looks totally hot, said Bloody Mary. You know what, I'm gonna have to give it to you free, 'cause you look really hot in that outfit. Hey, are you gonna be at the concert tonight? He asked. Yeah, I am, actually. I looked back at him. Hey, BTW, my name's Abondi Darkness Dementia Terra. What's yours? Tom Ridd, he said, and ran a hand through his black-dyed hair. Maybe I'll see you there tonight. Yeah, I don't think so, 'cause I'm going there with my BF Draco, you sick perv, I yelled angrily. But before he could beg me to go with him, Hagrid flew in on his black broom, looking worried. OMFG, Ebondi, you need to get back into the castle now. Chapter 17. Author's note. I said stop flimmin' destrio. If you're a prep den not read it. You can tell whether you're a prep or not by my quiz. It's on my homepage. If you're not, den you rock. If you are, den fook oof. Pliz Willow isn't really a prep. Raven, pliz do dis. I promise to give you back your poster. XXXXX 666 XXXX. Tom Riddle gave us some clothes and stuff for free. He said he would help us with makeup if he wanted, 'cause he was really into fashion and stuff. He's bisexual. Hagrid kept shooting at us to come back to Hogwarts. WTF, Hagrid, I shouted angrily. Fuck off, you fijuking bastard. Well, anyway, Willow came. Hagrid went away angrily. Hey, bitch, you look kawaii, she said. Yeah, but not kawaii as you, I answered sadly, 'cause Willow's really pretty and everything. She was wearing a short black corset thingy with blood-red lace on it, and a black blood-red miniskirt, leather fishnets, and black pointy boots that showed off how pale she was. She had a really nice body, with big bobs and everything. She was thin enough to be anorexic. So you're going to the concert with Draco? She asked. Yeah, I said happily. I'm going with Diabolo, she answered happily. Well, anyway, Draco and Diabolo came. They were both looking extremely hot and sexy, and you could tell they thought we were hot too. Diabolo was wearing a black t-shirt that said 666 on it. He was wearing tons of makeup, just like Marilyn Manson. Draco was wearing black leather pants, a gothic GC t-shirt, and black Vans he got from the Warped Tower. Bloody Mart was going to the concert with Dracula. Dracula used to be called Naval, but it turned out that he was kidnapped at birth and his real family were vampires. They died in a car crash. Naval converted to Satanism, and he went goth. He was in Slytherin now. He was wearing a black warped t-shirt, black jeans, and shoes and black hair with red streaks in it. We call him Dracula now. Well, anyway, we all went to Draco's black Mercy-Benz. Get it, 'cause we're Gothic. that his dad Lucian gave him. We did pot, coke, and crack. Draco and I made out. We made fun of those stupid fucking preps. We soon got there. ... I gasped. Gerard was the sexiest guy ever. He looked even sexier than he did in pics. He had long raven black hair and piercing blue eyes. He was really skinny, and he had an amazing ethnic voice. We moshed to Helena and some odder songs. Suddenly, Gerard pulled off his mask. So did the other members. I gasped. It wasn't Gerard at all. It was an ugly, preppy man with no face and red eyes. ... Everyone ran away but me and Draco. Draco and I came. It was Vladimort and the Deaf Dealers. You moronic idiots, he shouted angstily. Enobi, I told you to kill vampire. Thou have failed, and now I shall kill thou and Draco. No, no, please, we begged sadly, but he took out his knife. Suddenly, a gothic old man flew in on his broomstick. He had long black hair and a long black bread. He was wearing a black robe that said Avril Lavigne on the back. He shouted a spell and Vladimort ran away. It was... ellipses, ... ellipses, ... Dumbledore. Chapter 18. Author's Note. I said stop flamming. If you do, then you're a fucking prep. Fangs too raven for the help and stuff. You rock, and you're not a prep. Fangs for a suitor. P.S. The other Erson Dumbledore swore is 'cause he is trying to be gothic, so dare. XXX 666 XXX. I woke up the next day in my coffin. I walked out of it and put on some black eyeliner, black eyeshadow, blood bed lipstick, and a black, really low-cut leather dress that was all ripped and in stripes so you could see my belly. I was wearing a skull belly ring with black and red diamonds inside it. The night before Draco and I went back to the skull, get it, skull, 'cause I'm gothic and I like death, Dumbledore chased Vladimort away. We flew there on our brooms. Mine was black and the broom stuff was blood red. There was lace all over it. Draco had a black MCR broom. We went back to our rooms and we had you-know-what to a Linkin Park song. Well, anyway, I went down to the Great Hall. There was all the walls painted black and the tables were black too. But you could see that there was pink paint under the black paint. And there were pastors of poser bands everywhere, like Ashley Simpson and the Backstreet Boys. WTF, I shouted, going to sit next to Bloody Mary and Willow. Bloody Mary was wearing a black leather mini with a good Schralut t-shirt, black fishnets, and black pointy boots. Willow was wearing a long gothic black dress with blood-red writing that was all lacy and came up to your thighs and black boots and fishnets. Vampire, Dracula, and Draco came. We started to talk about who was sexier, Mikey or Gerard Way or Billy Joe Armstrong. The boys joined in 'cause they were all bi. Those guys are so fucking hot, Navel was saying, as suddenly a gothic old man with a black beard and everything came. He was the same one who had chased away Vladimort yesterday. He had normal tan skin, but he was wearing white foundation, and he had dyed his hair black. Dumbledore ? One exclamation point. We all gasped. WTF, I shouted angrily. I thought he was just wearing that to scare Voldemort. Hello, everyone, he said happily. As you can see, I gave the room a makeover. What do you think about it? Everyone from the poser table in Gryffindor started to cheer. Well, we Goths just looked at each other all disgusted and shook our heads. We couldn't believe what a poser he was. BTW, you can call me Albert, he called as we left to our classes. What a fucking poser, Draco shouted angrily as we went to transformation. We were holding hands. Vampire looked really jealous. I could see him crying blood in a gothic way. Get it? Way, like Gerard. But I didn't say anything. I bet he's having a midlife crisis, Willow shouted. I was so fucking angry.